Use yours also.
Okay, so on the last turn we did till here, so we have to start from line 509. That is Miranda's speech. Why speak my father so ingently? This is the third man that ever I saw. Why third man? Who were the other two men? They were Prospero and Caliban. So Miranda is not able to understand why Prospero is talking in this fashion. Why is he acting rude to Ferdinand? Right? She has known her father to be a very kind and a very gentle person. So that is what she says. Why speak my father so ungently? Why is my father behaving in such a rude manner, and especially to such a person who is very decent, right? Who appears to be very good. This is the third man that ever I saw. The first that ever I sighed upon. That ever I sighed upon means the first one on whom I had fallen for, right? My heart is sighing for this man. Pity move my father to be inclined my way. So I wish that my father should also have the same feelings which I have for this man, because I am in love with this man. So my father should also have love for this man. This is what I wish. May he have pity on him, and may he stop torturing this young man. Ferdinand. Oh, if a virgin, and your affection not gone for, I'll make you the queen of Naples. Ferdinand says, oh, so Ferdinand is very happy to know. We remember that he asked a question that whether you are a maid or not. So now and Miranda answered that yes, I am a maiden, though I am not a wonderful creature, but I am a maiden. I am yet unmarried. So this makes Ferdinand happy. He says, oh, so if you are uh, a maiden and you are still a virgin, and you have and your affection not gone forth, and you have not given your love and affection to any other man, if there is no man in your life, right, whom you love, so then I'll make you the queen of Naples. Then I promise you that I'll make you the queen of Naples. So this line tells us that Ferdinand has also fallen in love with Miranda. See, these things are happening very quickly. Why? Because of Prospero's charm and Prospero's magic, right? Prospero's magic is acting upon them. Prospero. Soft, sir. One word more. So Prospero asked Ferdinand that, why are you in such a hurry? Soft, sir. Wait, wait. Don't be too fast. Right? You have already proposed my daughter. You have asked my daughter to become the queen of Naples. So he says, wait. Don't be in such a mighty hurry. One word more. I need to talk to you something. I have to tell you something. First, we need to have some conversation aside. And then Prospero moves to one side and he says they are both in either's path. Now they are captivated in each other's love. Now both of them are madly in love with each other. But this swift business I must uneasy me. So, but he says that I need to make this business of falling in love with each other a little difficult one. Uneasy make means I need to make this entire thing a difficult task. Why? Lest too light winning make the prize light. Why? Because if we acquire anything, what if we get anything easily, we don't value it, right? Lest too light winning, something which is easily won or easily acquired, make the price light. We fail to understand the value of that particular thing. That thing is not at all valuable to us. Anything which we get easily is not valuable. So that is why Ferdinand says that I must make the business uneasy. Mark these lines. I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the price light. Right? He says I need to make this difficult for them, because anything which is acquired easily will make the price light. You can underline these lines. They are important. I don't know why I'm not able to highlight. One word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. So he says, I need to talk to you. Right? Then these things, these words are uttered by Prospero to himself for the audience. So Ferdinand and Miranda don't listen to these things. They are not heard by Ferdinand and Miranda. And then he addresses Ferdinand and he says one word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. So I need to talk to you. I need to have a word with you. I instruct you to please listen to me. Right? Listen to what I have to say. Thou dost here usurp the name thou ownest not. Why? Which name? Which name is Prospero talking of? Who can tell me? Why is Prospero saying, thou dost here usurp the name thou ownest not?
Mom, he's talking about King of Naples.
He's
Yes,
talking about?
King of Naples. King of Naples.
Yes. Earlier Ferdinand said na, that it is a single thing. That means we are one and the same. As of now, according to the present situation, I and King of Naples are the same. Why does he say so? Because he believes that his father is dead now, and so obviously he'll be the King of Naples now. So that is what Prospero is talking about. One more, I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou ownest not. You have taken the name which you do not own. You are claiming of a title which doesn't belong to you at the present moment, and has put thyself upon this island as a spy. What I doubt is that you are a spy who is trying to hide his identity by claiming some false title. So you are definitely a spy to win it from me, and you are on this island to take away this island from me, the Lord on it. Who is the ruler of this island? I, who is the ruler of this island, who is the owner of this island, who is the Lord of this island. You have come to this island. You are definitely a spy, and you want to snatch this island from me. Now I can understand clearly your intentions, your plans. Your plan is to take this island from me, who is the ruler of this island. Why do you think Prospero is uttering these words? When Prospero knows that, yes, Kriti.
Ma'am, so that he can resist Ferdinand from falling in love with Merida easily.
They have already fallen in love.
But ma'am, still he wanted to make them. He's just speaking such words so that if Ferdinand changes his intention and
Yes.
started hating
Yes. He wants to, he's
Merida.
trying to test Ferdinand, test his love, right? He'll make things difficult for Ferdinand, right? So that Ferdinand proves himself to be a good suitor for Miranda, to be a worthy suitor for Miranda. So that is why he's trying to make things difficult for Ferdinand, because he said that light winning make the prize light. Anything which is won easily is not valued. And this is true even today with every one of us. Anything we get for free, we don't value. No, as I am a man. So when Ferdinand listens to this, he says, no, as I am a man, no, I am going to, no, I can swear upon my honor, right, that I am an honest man. I really don't have any such intention of taking away this island from you. I'm ready to swear by my honor. These are not my intentions. I don't intend to take this island. I'm an honest man, and I'm not here to take away this island from you. Miranda, there's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. Now Miranda is madly in love, so obviously how can she hear anything against Ferdinand? She says there is nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. She's trying to convince her father that trust me, No bad thing, no evil, no wickedness can reside in such a great body, right? Like Ferdinand's body and heart. Like Ferdinand. Ferdinand was a very handsome man. So he says, in such a wonderful creature, no wickedness, no evil can ever reside. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it. If the evil things, if the devil will get such a wonderful house, here the meaning of house is Ferdinand's body. If the evil gets an opportunity, if the evil is to reside in such a beautiful human being, in such a beautiful body, then good things and virtues will definitely try hard to dwell within it, right? They will definitely make an attempt to live in such a wonderful creature. Prospero says to Ferdinand, follow me, speak not you for him. Now these words, speak not you for him, are for Miranda, because Miranda is continuously trying to persuade Ferdinand, trying to persuade Prospero that leave him, be kind to him, he is not a bad person, no evil can reside in such a wonderful creature. So trust me, these are the things which Miranda is trying to tell Prospero. Right? So Prospero is annoyed, and he tells he's actually not annoyed, but he makes it appear as if he is annoyed. So he says to Miranda, speak not you for him. You keep your gap shut. You are not supposed to talk in his favor. He's a traitor. I'm determined that he's a traitor. He's a betrayer. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. You come with me. I will tie your neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Underline these lines. From here. I don't know why my line. You underline these lines. From here, you underline. These things you need to underline. These are the important lines. What does Prospero tell Ferdinand? He says, I'll manacle thy neck and feet, right? I'll just chain your neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. And what will you be given to drink? You will only be allowed to drink brine, that is salty water of the sea. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussel, means shellfish, right? You will get only shellfish to eat, withered roots. And what else will you be allowed to eat? Withered, that means dried roots of the trees. You will get dried roots, shellfish, and husk, right? So husk means a chaff. So you will get these things to eat, wherein the corn cradle means after removing the corn, right? After the grain has been removed, that covering which is left, that hard covering, that which is left, that you will be given to eat, right? So these are the things which you will eat and drink, and your neck and feet, they will be changed together. This is what Prospero tells Ferdinand, that you will be punished in this manner for claiming a title which rightfully doesn't belong to you. So Ferdinand says, no, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power. So Ferdinand refuses. He says, no, I am not, in no way I am going to tolerate all these things. I will resist such kind of treatment, such kind of behavior. I am definitely going to, entertainment here means such kind of behavior, such kind of treatment towards me, I will object to it. I'll revolt against it till mine enemy has more power. Till my enemy is more powerful than me and forces me to obey all these things and subdues me till that time, I will fight back. I will revolt. In no way I will accept this kind of treatment. And after saying so, he draws his sword. He takes out his sword from his scabbard, and the moment he takes out his sword, he is charmed from moving. Means, what does Prospero do? He uses his magic and he charms him. And so he is standing there with his sword in his hand, but he cannot attack. Right? He is unable to attack because of Prospero's charm. Prospero charmed him. So he is with his sword in his hand in an attacking posture. He's just standing there. Miranda, oh dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful. So again, Miranda comes to his rescue and says that, oh my dear father, please don't be so quick. Please don't be so fast in judging him. Trust me, he is a gentle soul. He is harmless. In no way he has such plans of taking away the island from you. So you trust me. Now Prospero says, what I say? What? You are trying to tell me my foot by tutor. My foot by tutor means now I have to take lessons. I being a father, now I have to take lessons from my daughter. My foot by tutor means someone who is inferior to me is now trying to teach me. So you being my daughter, you being so inexperienced as in front of me, now you are telling me that he is gentle and harmless. I am going to be guided by you now. This is the case. Put thy sword up, traitor. And then he talks to Ferdinand and he says that raise your sword. If you have the courage and if you have the guts, the strength, raise your sword, you traitor, you betrayer, who makest a show. You cannot do it. Why? Because you are just pretending to be brave, but darest not strike. But you actually don't have the guts to strike. You don't have the courage to strike. Right? You are just by taking out your sword from the scabbard and standing like this, you are just making a show of your bravery. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Now, once you have taken out the sword from your scabbard, your conscience is possessed with guilt. I know you are guilty. You don't have a clear conscience. And because you don't have a clear conscience, you cannot attack. You can only make a show. You can only pretend. But you cannot attack because your conscience is possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward. Come from thy ward means come out of this position, right? This attacking position. I told you that Ferdinand was standing there with his sword in his hand in an attacking posture, as if he was about to attack, right? So he says, come out of this attitude of defense which you have adopted. For I can here disarm thee with this stick. Stick here means Prospero's magic staff, which he was carrying, right? He says, please don't make a show of your bravery in front of me. I can disarm you in no time. I can make your sword fall to the ground in no time with this small stick which I am holding in my hand, and make thy weapon drop. Right? So this is what I am capable of doing. So please don't make a show of your false bravery in front of me. Miranda, beseech you, father. And Miranda is busy convincing her father. She says, beseech you, I request you, I pray you, my father, please. Hence, hang not on my garments. So what Miranda must be doing, she must be pulling her garments. Kids, they normally do. Whenever they are trying to convince their parents, they start pulling the garment. So Miranda must be hanging to Prospero's robe which he was wearing, that magic robe. So he says, hence, hang not on my garments. Go away. Move aside. Don't hang on my garments. Leave my garments. Why are you holding my garments? Miranda, sir, have pity. Miranda says, please, sir, have mercy. I'll be his surety. I am ready to take his guarantee. I am ready to be his surety. But you please have mercy upon him. Don't treat him in this fashion. Anything you haven't. Prospero, silence, one word more shall make me chide thee. Prospero says, you keep quiet And don't you dare speak a word further. If you speak further, I will definitely chide thee. Chide thee means I will definitely rebuke you. You will get a very bad scolding from me, if not hate thee. You are my daughter. I cannot hate you. But be sure that you'll be scolded badly, rebuked, chided by me. What? What? An advocate for an imposter. What are you trying to do? You are trying to take the favor. You are trying to talk in favor of this imposter, this cheater, this pretender who is here standing in front of us. Hush, now keep quiet. Thou thinkest there is no more such shapes as he. What do you think? There are not more handsome men than this. You have only seen one man in your life and now you have fallen for him. You are madly in love with him. You are trying to convince your father for him. Go against your father for him. This is what you are trying to do. Don't worry. There are much better shapes. Better shapes means more handsome people, more beautiful persons than this man. Having seen but him and Caliban. How many men have you seen? You have only seen him and Caliban. Foolish wench, you foolish girl. To the most of the men, this is Caliban. There are many people who are more handsome than him, and he is like Caliban in front of them. Right? So, and they to him are angels. And if you compare those men, those more handsome men than this fellow, then they will be like angels in front of him, and he will be like Caliban in front of them. So, don't worry. We'll find another more handsome man for you. So, leave it. Don't take his side. Miranda, my affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man. So Miranda says, in that case, if you really believe that there are more people who are handsome than him, then in that case, my affections means my love for this man are then most humble. Then it is the most modest love which I have for this man. I have no intention, I have no ambition, I have no desire to see a goodlier man. Goodlier man means a more handsome, a better man than this person. That is Ferdinand. She says that I really don't desire, I really don't wish to see a more handsome man than Ferdinand. And why? Because my affections, I have developed love for this person. So I don't need a better man. I am happy with Ferdinand. Prospero to Ferdinand. Come on, obey. So Prospero ignores what Miranda says and he talks to Ferdinand and says, come on, obey. You, come on, follow me and obey my instructions. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them. He says that your nerves are in your infancy. You don't have any more strength left than an infant. A child, as an infant, a very young child doesn't have much strength. So that is what Prospero is saying, that your nerves are in your infancy again. Right? You don't have more strength than a small baby left inside you, and so have no vigor in them. So you don't have any energy left inside you. So you have no option but to obey my instruction. So come on, follow me. Ferdinand. So they are. And then Ferdinand also realizes that he starts feeling very weak and devoid of all energy. And so he says, yes, I can feel that I'm feeling exhausted, tired, and all these things I am feeling. Like I have no strength left at all, no energy left inside me. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. So it seems that I have my spirits, means all my strength, which I possess, that has been all bound up. It seems as if somebody has tied all my strength. They are all tied up, as if I am in a dream. When you are in a dream, you don't have any energy left. You feel helpless. So that is what Ferdinand is feeling. He says, as if this is a dream going on. I really cannot do anything. I am feeling energyless at this moment. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel. So then he further says that the loss of my father, that is the death of my father. The weakness which I am feeling at this moment. I am feeling very weak at this moment. The wreck of all my friends. All my friends and companions who have died in the shipwreck. Nor this man's threat, any to whom I am subdued. And this man standing in front of me who's threatening me. right? To whom I have subdued, who has taken control over me, are but light to me. All these things are appearing very light to me. I'm not at all tensed and stressed by all these things. I don't know what's happening to me all of a sudden, that I am not stressed about my father's loss anymore. I'm not stressed about the weakness which I'm feeling at the moment. My mind is not even occupied with the wreck of all my friends. And even this man's threats, the man who is standing in front of me, that is Prospero, who is threatening me, that is also not something about which I am worried at the present moment, are but light to me. All these things all of a sudden have started appearing very trivial, very light to me. Might I? And what is the main worry which I have? What is the greatest desire which I have at the present moment? Might I, but through my present sense, once behold this pain. So at this moment, what my heart is worried about is that I should get a chance once a day from my prison cell. I don't care if this man is going to keep me in prison. But my greatest desire at this moment is that I should be able to behold this maid at least once a day, right? From my prison cell. If I am able to look at this maid for once a day, that is, if I am able to get a glimpse of this maid, that is Miranda, once a day, then all corners else on the earth, let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a thing. Then I would prefer to live happily in my prison and let all the free people go on roaming all over the earth. I don't care. I don't need my freedom in that case. If I am able to get a glimpse of this lady at least once a day, I'll live happily in the prison. Even life in a prison won't stress me, right? Won't trouble me. If the condition is that I should be able to get a glimpse of this maid at least once a day. And let all the free people of the earth, all corners else of the earth, let liberty make use of. Let liberty make use of means all the people who are free, they should go on roaming freely upon the earth. Let them be free. Let them enjoy their freedom. I don't care. I'll be more happy living my life in a prison. Prospero aside, it works. And when Prospero listens to this, right, he again moves to one side and he's happy that it works. Means his plan is working. Whatever things are happening according to the way he had planned. And then he again talks to Ferdinand and says, "Come on, thou hast done well." Fine, Ariel. So, and he says to Ferdinand that, "Come on." And then he's talking about Ariel. These things are not heard by Ferdinand. "Thou hast done well, fine, Ariel." And then he thanks Ariel that, "Ariel, you have done a wonderful job, right? You have obeyed all my instructions to the minutest detail, followed all my instructions to the minutest details, because this is what I wanted. I wanted Ferdinand to fall madly in love with my daughter, and Miranda also to fall for Ferdinand, and both are in love now." So he says that, "Ariel, you have done your job really well." And then he again says to Ferdinand, "Follow me. Come on, follow me. You, come on, follow me." To Ariel. And then he says to Ariel, "Hark, what thou else shalt do." So then he talks to Ariel. Prospero talks to Ariel and says, "Now listen, Ariel. Come here. Listen to me. You have to do another job. There is another task which you have to do for me." So he gives instructions to Ariel also. We know that Ariel is only visible to Prospero and to itself. Nobody else can see Ariel besides Prospero. So he gives further instructions to Ariel. Anything you haven't understood? Any queries? "Be of comfort, my fathers, of a better nature." Then Miranda now has realized that his father will not listen to her in any way. He is not ready to listen to any of her pleas and requests. So Miranda talks to Ferdinand. This is what Miranda is telling Ferdinand. Be of comfort. You relax, right? You be at ease, right? You try to be comfortable. My father's of better nature, sir. This is not the real nature of my father. My father is much more gentle than what he seems to be at the present moment. Though he's appearing to be very rude and harsh and strict, but this is not his true nature. He has a gentler and a better nature. Then he appears by speech. So at this moment, his speech is very rude, he's very harsh, but trust me, sir, he is person of much better nature than what anyone will understand from his speech at the present moment. This is unwanted, which now came up from him. So whatever you have seen till now about my father, that is something very unusual. It's a very unusual behavior, right? I myself have never seen it in the past. I've never seen my father behaving in such a strange and a weird manner, the way he is doing right now. So trust me, you do not worry. He is a much better person than what you have seen till now. Prospero, thou shalt be as free as mountain wind. He is talking about Ariel. You shall be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command. Says, I'll set you free, Ariel. Don't worry, you will be as free as the winds which blow over the mountains. But then for that, you will have to obey my commands to the minutest detail, right? To the syllable. Ariel says, yes, I will obey your command to each and every syllable. That is to the smallest and the minutest detail. Prospero, come, follow, speak not for him. So speak not for him is for Miranda. So come, follow is for Ferdinand. Prospero asks Ferdinand to come and follow him. And then he tells Miranda, and you, girl, you stop talking for him. You're not supposed to talk in his favor. And then they leave the scene. With this, we come to the end of Act 1, Scene 2. Thank you.